Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning, North Schuylkill. I'm Rachel Cataldo.
And I'm Kylie Blazowski. Last week, we covered the weekly word splat as one of the new initiatives in the high school. Another new event that will begin next week is the monthly data delay. For students, it means a 2-hour delay without the snow. But what does it mean for the teachers who still show up on time? Charlie Crest has more with Mr. Roseberry about how the data delays are intended to help the district.
This is Charlie Crest within the news here with Mr. Roseberry talking about the 2-hour delay schedules. So, Mr. Roseberry, what are the reasons for the 2-hour delays?
We're trying to make a focus on using data to drive instruction, data to improve test scores, and we really needed to find some time, some common time that we get together and discuss this without students being in the building in order to kind of dive into the data and decide courses of action that we're going to take into the future.
What are the teachers doing during this time?
We're going to start out in some department meetings so the departments can get together with their departments and they can discuss data, but they can also discuss other things that are going on with their departments. And then we plan on branching it into looking at data, more formative type data that the teachers gather in the classrooms, where they can look at a student information and they can kind of benchmark and set goals with the students. So it doesn't matter if you're in a tested subject like English or if you're in PE or social studies, you still can use the data that you're gathering in your classroom in order to improve the instruction and improve hopefully what the outcome will be on summative type tests and standardized tests.
Why is this important to the students?
I think it's very important, and the reason I'm kind of excited about it this year is it kind of matches with our district theme, which is it's all about growth. Because I think as a student, sometimes we lose track of, we go into a classroom and I sit down and I see that I'm at a starting point, I'm right here. And I think what we need to get students to realize is where are you going to be 2 weeks from now? And have you grown at all? Have you gotten to another level? It's going to be something that you can see and you can get excited about. Just like if you're playing a video game and you want to get to the next level, if you're in math, you should want to get to the next level. And ultimately, that's going to help the school because that's going to improve our performance, that's going to improve our growth, that's going to improve our school performance profile, and it's a win-win. It's a win-win for everyone.
You heard it here first within the news.
In addition to the new initiatives, we also have some new faces in the building as well. After Mr. Darrow returned to his homeland, we were left with a hole in the social studies department. Mr. Wade, who had been a substitute in the building, took on the classes. Sammy Shinkus has more with Mr. Wade.
I'm Sam Shinkus here within the news. I'm here with Mr. Wade, the new social studies teacher. What brought you back to NS?
Well, my first job outside of college was here at North Schuylkill. I actually guarded the bathroom, which is a very important job. And then I had a lot of good experiences. A lot of the people, although they're not here anymore, Mr. Wortman was here. He helped me out a lot of the social studies department. Another big thing that brought me back is that they promised to pay me if I come here every day till the end of the year, so that's exciting.
And where was your favorite place to teach?
Sorry, I forgot to take the microphone. Here, I'll take it.
Okay.
It makes me feel better. So, obviously, North Schuylkill, but I also enjoyed, I taught here and there doing outdoor education. My favorite place for that was South Mountain YMCA. It was a good time.
What's your favorite class to teach?
Do you mean that I currently teach or ever?
Ever.
Ever. Well, I'm pretty excited about my intro to law class. I never got to teach that. It's quite a headache to put together, but I'm pretty excited about it. But I also love politics. I love current events. But my number one class to teach is probably civics.
What's one word you would use to describe yourself?
You should probably ask Doc Wade that, but probably number one thing she uses to describe me is ridiculous.
Ridiculous. My personal favorite, where did you and Miss Doherty Wade meet?
Outside the bathroom in the lobby.
If any students are interested in attending the trip to England, please listen to the regular morning announcements, as updates will be given about dates and times for meetings and an informational session for parents. The parent meeting will take place on Wednesday, September 14th at 6 p.m. in room 650. The pricing for the trip is the same as it was advertised last spring, and the trip will occur between June 13th to June 21st, 2017. If you have any questions, please see Miss White in the science wing.
In the news, we'll also be trying some new things this year as well. One of the first that we would like to debut is the Spartan Spotlight. In these segments, we will interview students throughout the school. Our first interview features Senior Class President Robert Flannery. Jordan Donmoyer has more with Flan.
I'm Jordan Donmoyer here with the Senior Class President Robert Flannery to ask him some questions on this year's school year coming up. North Schuylkill has also applied the Word Splat Word of the Week this year. This week's word is elucidate. Can you use that in a sentence for us?
Can you elucidate the question again?
Elucidate means to be clear or explain.
Oh, I was using it in the sentence.
Okay.
Sorry.
And finally, the boys soccer team has started off to a successful season this year, finally. Do you regret not playing?
No.
Why not?
I don't like sports. Like they're just weird to me. Everyone's like all aggressive and angry and sweaty. Just want to hang out, read some comics, take some walks in the woods.
Reasonable reasons. It's Jordan Donmoyer and Robert Flannery.
Our final segment, titled Where Were You?, will cover the tragic events of 9/11 that occurred 15 years ago. Mike Russell has some more with some of our faculty.
So where were you on 9/11?
It was actually one of my first days teaching. At that time I was teaching over at Shenandoah Valley, and it was on my prep period. I happened to be walking into the office where they had a TV on. And as I'm watching the TV, I was actually the first person to see the plane crash through one of the towers. And I called everybody over, because at that time everybody believed it was just an accidental plane crash. And then as time passed, we did see the second one crashing, and everybody was in complete shock at that point, and we knew something terrible was happening.
I was in the middle of a lesson when the principal of the school came in and spoke to my teacher, pulled her out of the room, and then we were dismissed from school without being told what had happened.
I was actually in what is now Mr. Stone's room. Mr. Nolter was the teacher for a mechanical drafting class. It came on the radio, and they announced that there was a fire at the World Trade Center, which we then found out was actually under attack by having 2 planes hit it. I remember the rest of the day in school, we just watched the live events of 9/11, and nobody really said much about that. And I remember all after school activities being canceled, and just being a day of mourning and sadness.
I was in my old room, room 715 down in used to be Mrs. Saucer's, now I think it's Mr. Hampton's room. And when this incident on 9/11 occurred, all the teachers got a phone call and says, whatever you do, don't turn your television sets on because there's been a bombing in New York City. Well, within like 15 to 30 seconds, the teachers we had to know. I mean, it's just, and when we saw what was going on, it was sort of unbelievable. We weren't in any imminent danger, but yet the fact that this had occurred, and we still didn't know the full extent of what happened, and we didn't know that for many hours, but everybody's eyes were pretty much glued to the TV at that point.
If you're looking for a new Spartan Spirit shirt, you're in luck. The North Schuylkill baseball team are selling shirts in order to pay for their new uniforms next year. They come in sizes adult small, medium, large, and extra large, as well as youth sizes in those for $10. For $12, they also have adult 2XL and 3XL shirts. You can give the order forms to Mr. Brayford by September 20th. Thank you. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Rachel Cataldo.
And I'm Kylie Blazowski.
Friday!